40B process is to bring affordable and moderate housing into communities that do not have it. And we've grown so fast, it's been a shortage, and it's the worst in the summer months where we have our largest workforce here. The service industry, taking care of people's homes, building homes, servicing homes, you know, every possible industry you could think of. Painters, house cleaners, chefs, landscapers, gardeners, repairmen, you know, so we get inundated in the summertime. So we need that type of housing, but what I think is, especially after this town meeting, this last town meeting, there was a gentleman that had brought an article forward the year before and this past year to raise and appropriate, I think it was an additional $30 million so the town would just have this money in case they needed it. Like this winter when our sewer exploded in town, we would have that money sitting there. Well, a gentleman from the Finance Committee got up and said, we don't need to vote this article in. We just voted in $35 million worth of spending tonight. We have the ability at our town meetings to vote in this spending. So my theory is, if it's that easy to have a vote and vote for that type of spending, why don't we as citizens bring an article forward and have Nantucket build, maintain, and operate its own affordable housing units, and do it, you know, tastefully with the building with Nantucket in mind guidelines. The town has so many lots that are empty right now, and we do have affordable housing on them. There's quite a few affordable houses on my street in Okawa. They're mixed in, you know, neighborhoods all over the island, and you don't see it. Not like a dense compound like Surfside Crossing would be. You want to see a good 40B? Yeah. A nice 40B, a friendly 40B, Sachem's Path. Yeah, that's right. And they want to build Surfside Crossing behind it. So basically, instead of having trees behind these nice homes that were built, you're going to see like a Walmart behind there. And people need to know what a friendly 40B is. All of the homes in that 40B go towards our the SHI count, which is a subsidized housing inventory, which brings us closer to our 10% goal. So, Surfside Crossing, 156 units, 39 that would be affordable to moderate income. Of that, half of those would be delegated to Nantucket residents. The remainder is open to a state lottery. Anyone can apply for this affordable housing. So we end up bringing lower income, moderate income families to Nantucket. We're not just taking care of Nantucketers, we're bringing people. And I don't think we owe anybody in any state a vacation home in Nantucket, or a home that a working class person would be, you know, occupying. So it doesn't always take care of Nantucket people first. So,
but half of it does. The other half
of the 25%.
Half of okay.
So I did some really rough math for Surfside Crossing. If there's 156 units, 25% is 39. So if 39 of those are affordable, 18 and a half of them will most likely go to someone living on Nantucket right now. And they have to meet the income guidelines also, because there are people here that have lower income and don't even qualify for some of the housing here. So there's an area where you have to be with your income to qualify. And I think it's 80% of the median income. So if 18 and a half are for Nantucketers, we could actually, as a community, with these 13 and a half acres that they have in a 2-acre minimum zoning area, if they were to create 2-acre lots, there'd be 6. So if we built under current zoning, and the town did it, 6 homes, 6 secondary dwellings, and 6 tertiary dwellings, we would conform to zoning, we would assimilate into the neighborhood, and we would have our 18 affordable homes for Nantucket residents.
So what's stopping it?
Well, we'd have to fund it. We would actually have to do it. We talk about
too late?
With this one, it is. Okay. But we talk about things on Nantucket, and I remember 20 years ago, what did we talk about? The cars. Oh, how do we limit the cars on Nantucket? Well, I'll tell you what. Drive around today.
Do I go straight, right? Or
well,
what's the best way to get in there? You want to see
Satch's
this
Path
first?
is right here. Yeah, drive through
Okay.
Satch's. This is a friendly 40B. They've planted trees.
How many houses are in here? How many units?
I don't know the count. I don't know if there are 50. I honestly don't know. It could be 39, 40.
Yeah.
I mean, we could count them as we drive through, but I don't know.
Okay.
But
just for perspective,
I know families whose kids have gotten homes in here. This is a friendly 40B. It's a nice 40B.
Now, tell for those people who don't, maybe they're thinking they'd like to get one of these houses, okay? And what are the restrictions on a 40B? I mean, it's not market value, or is it?
No. That's
what I'm saying.
It's definitely below market value.
It stays.
And
so if you leave and you want to sell it, it's not tertiary though. What's the difference between a 40B and a tertiary?
Tertiary is just the third dwelling.
Okay. A covenant. What's the difference between a 40B and a covenant?
It's hard to say. Covenants can restrict things, but it can restrict how many cars you can have in your yard, how many boats, whether you can have goats and horses. I mean, covenant. I think. Yeah, neighborhoods can have covenants that restrict things like that. That's not always a deed restriction. It can be in deed restrictions also. But I mean, I don't. Now behind us, to the right, is 13 acres of woodland right now. That's all going to disappear.
That's where they're going.
Disappear. So they plan on a 10-foot buffer. So you won't have a mature pine tree in a 10-foot buffer. I'm sure they're going to take every single tree down. If you're opposed to this type of development in Nantucket, which is something that Tristram's Landing blew everybody out of the water in the 70s, and it was decided that they didn't want that type of housing built here. Right. The entire island is a historic, designated historic district. You and I have guidelines that we have to follow, and this developer wants to be released from all of those guidelines. All of them. Zoning.
Is there fear that this would just be the first of many?
No, there
can't be that many right now.
Well,
right?
there's a few. Well, if we continue driving beyond here, there's Abrams Quarry. It's another 40B. If you were to turn left here on Fairgrounds Road, there's Rugged Scott, Beach Plum, another 40B. One of the other issues is they're putting them all in one area on the island. One area.
Yep. That's
not good for anybody. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't happen that way. But other issues with the 40B.
Yeah.
Is the sewer capacity? Can we handle adding 389 more bedrooms? I know the line in the road can't right now. I believe I heard that the plant could actually handle the gallonage. But here's something to think about. If this were built, it might preclude other people from building on Nantucket because they might wipe out, eat up our capacity. We have so the capacity that's an issue, and we already know we have problems with all the lines that are underground in Nantucket. Electrical needs. We already had dropped on us a few months ago in the INM that the hospital's going to need more electricity, and with the growth and development here, we're going to need more. So now all the ratepayers are looking at, I believe the number in the paper was $153 million to bring another cable to Nantucket. Yeah. How's this going to impact that? Of course it's going to impact our electrical needs. But it's also sitting on top of an aquifer protection or a wellhead protection district.
Sure.
So we've got to worry about everything, all the pollutants and contaminants from hundreds of cars parking there on top of our aquifer. We risk, contaminating our water supply. So there are risks for the community as a whole, not just for the neighborhood.
Is this going to be one of the access?
No.
No.
This is the land over here.
Right.
Beyond Sherburne Commons.
Right.
Is, I believe, part of the land.
Yes, it is. I just figured there was some way of getting over here through this.
No, we drove by it. I mean, we can, if you want to go back and stop. They actually plowed a road in.
They did.
They did plow a road in. And I think it was...
Now, there's been a lot of controversy over this thing. But is it too late? Is this over?
No, it's not too late. And the only way we can stop this is to get the select board behind us.
Yeah.
We need the select board to come out against this, and we needed them to strongly come out and oppose this. We need the planning board to oppose something like this. So all I can say is don't shame anybody in public, like Sarah, Sanders in the Hen House restaurant. But if you see any of your select board members at the supermarket, somewhere, be nice to them, but let them know how you feel about it if you're opposed to it. And everybody gets to have a voice. If you're in favor of this, then you get to have a voice too, and say, tell your selectmen, your planning board members.
I think a lot of people feel that of course they're not in favor. They wish growth would just kind of stop right now, but they know that there's nothing they feel like they can't do anything about it.
Okay, we're at a tipping point on Nantucket.
Yeah.
There's also a website that has just formed. It's not fully up and running yet, but it's called nantuckettippingpoint.com. So people that want to get information, will probably just pull over here, Gino, and we can look in their entrance.
Okay.
So you can get information through the group Nantucket Tipping Point right now, and learn from them. Find out what you can do. Find out how you can make a difference in something like this. I understand how everyone on Nantucket works really hard. Husbands, wives, with children. Usually both heads of household are working, so you can't attend all of the meetings. You can write a letter. I mean, I don't know anybody that's not online, whether it be on their phone or on a computer. You can, communicate with your select board members that way. But let them know. I mean, the more people that voice their opinion about this, the greater chance we have of stopping it.